Hi there, my name is Wangemann, and this is my final organizational behavior project on workplace safety. So the purpose of my presentation is to identify the principal issue for the Leonard Seola Law Firm, which is the law firm that I work for here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm going to evaluate the pros and cons for possible courses of action to resolve the issue, and then recommend the best course of action based on my analysis and my research. So, by way of background, Leonard Seola is a boutique law firm with 12 attorneys, 5 paralegals, such as myself, and 10 administrative staff. We have 3 offices in the greater Philadelphia area, one right in Center City, Philadelphia, one in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and then one in Morristown, New Jersey. The Philadelphia office is our largest and is housed right over a subway station. And it's a full-range civil litigation law firm serving individuals and business, and we've been in business for over 25 years. So some OB studies that I used for this presentation were Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and he states that safety and security is a foundational need. And then recent news reports have focused attention on dramatic instances of workplace violence, extreme acts of aggression in work settings, and 1/4 of surveyed emergency department staff have reported feeling safe, sometimes, rarely, or never. And then some crime statistics on Philadelphia. Philadelphia scores an 8 on the crime index, meaning that it is safer than only 8% of cities in the entire United States. We have an annual crime number of 14,444 and a 9.12 crime rate per 1,000 residents. And here's a little quote from the Inquirer. More people were shot in Philadelphia this year than in any other year since 2010. According to police statistics, in the city's homicide total of 351 through Saturday is about level with last year's decade-long high. So a normal day at Leonard Seola at my law firm. Attorneys have their own offices with staff in an open area, mostly in cubicles or walking around the mailroom, copy room, cafeteria. Phones are constantly ringing. Conversations are always going on in the hallways. Clients are walking in and out. People are in the zone, which they're not always focusing on their surroundings because they're focusing on their work. Often people are driven by deadlines because law is obviously a deadline-driven business. So there's a lot of stress, chaos, and people raising their voices. So at any of these points, a potential bad actor could enter, and we may not even be aware of it. So our issue is maintaining a safe work environment. We communicate to the offices dealing with people who are homeless, suffering from mental illness, angry, afraid, potentially violent, unemployed, embittered, and may even have weapons. We arrive to work in a beautiful office building located in the heart of the city, and this kind of creates a false sense of there's danger out there, but it's safe in here. And our people are so busy they might be unaware of a potential bad actor that could enter. So I'm going to evaluate the options to solve the issue. I was thinking we could either hire a firm to conduct a security audit of our physical spaces and make recommendations for how we can improve the safety and security of our offices, or we could train people on situational awareness to get them more in tune on potential issues, threats in the workplace, and specific actions they should take should a threat occur. So the first option was conducting a security audit. There are firms in Pennsylvania, such as the Vulnerability Solutions Group, who offer security consulting by providing risk and vulnerability assessments, security and protection solutions, on-site evaluations, staff and management interviews, crime statistics analysis, needs assessments, threat and vulnerabilities identification, emergency action plans, and security training for staff. And the pros and cons of conducting a security audit. Pros would obviously result in potential long-term solutions for safety, close some of the gaps in our security strategies. We would have professionals address the safety and security of our particular firm. We'd be exposed to best practices in the industry. It would produce an audit report designed specifically for Leonard Seola, and it would show us our specific vulnerabilities. Some cons, obviously not 100% guaranteed. Bad things can still happen. We also lease some of the offices in our suite, so we might not be able to deploy the security company's recommendations. We've also been talking about moving the Philadelphia office within the year, so we really wouldn't be able to implement it until then. There's obviously an undetermined return on investment. It would not solve the issue of our employees not being in tune with what's happening in their surroundings, and it could be potentially expensive to implement. The second option would be to teach a situational awareness course. Situational awareness is basically paying attention to what's happening around you. This awareness helps you identify potential threats to yourself and your coworkers, and it's critical to maintaining a safe work environment. So basically, I'm thinking we can train our people to be aware of their surroundings and notice when something is out of the ordinary and must be dealt with. And many situational awareness models stem from the Department of Defense initiatives, and I have actually developed a similar one for our employees. Basically, first we want to establish the normal. Think about your coworkers, their demeanor, your environment, sounds, sights, smells, where your exits are, safety measures, and your normal emergency procedures. Next, we're going to scan for changes. Are there any changes in the normal office environment? Think about personality or mood changes in your coworkers, and then respond to strangers. We're going to determine if there's any change. What is different? Is it a small change, like a scheduled contractor coming in to do some maintenance or work? Or is there some sense of urgency about the change, like a suspicious backpack left in the reception area? And then we're going to respond to the change. We're going to ask coworkers if something's wrong, ask the stranger why he or she is there. And then we would remove ourselves from the threatening situation by using de-escalation techniques like run, hide, and fight protocol. The run, hide, and fight protocol is a U.S. government, police department, first responder recommendation protocol for dealing with a bad actor. First level is run. We're going to run away from the assailant if it is safe to do so. If not, we're going to hide. We're going to find some place where you can be safe and hide. If that doesn't work, fight. The first two options are not available. Some common items can be used as weapons to fight the assailant, such as scissors. So, pros and cons of conducting a situational awareness training class. Pros, gives employees the information that they can use immediately. They can start using them today. It would drive awareness of our security strategies and help close those gaps. Training will help employees and their professional and personal lives. They can take it outside of the office and use these same measures. It would give employees tools that they can use in an emergency. It would also show us our specific vulnerabilities as we think about security concerns, and it's a much lower cost. Cons, once again, not 100% guaranteed. Bad things can always still happen. Employees would be using time that could be billable to take non-billable training, which is especially important in a business like a law firm where most every work we do is billable. And if I championed this idea and was given permission to implement, I would have to balance training with my other responsibilities. So now I'm going to make my recommendation for the best course of action out of the two options I presented. And I believe implementing the situational awareness training course is the best course of action. And my rationale behind this is it gives employees tools they can use today. It brings awareness to the security issues. It's a low-cost solution, and it will help us identify security vulnerabilities and fix them, and it's a much more timely solution. So in conclusion, I went over the safety and security in the workplace as being a very important organizational behavior issue. The locations of our offices are in potential hot zones. Like I said, we're right above a subway station. There's thousands and thousands of people walking through our building every single day. There's really only an elevator separating us from the outside world. Leonard Seola could be at risk due to the busyness of the people in our office, the attorneys, staff, always constantly working, not always paying attention to their surroundings. And this assignment really made me realize how important this issue is, and I actually decided to present the issue to the partners for consideration. And here are my references. So thank you for listening.